What we learned from Jeremy Swayman as he spoke with the media on Tuesday following his arbitration hearing and resolution. Plus, we're going to rank the NHL logos together here on today's episode of Locked On Boston Bruins.
You're Locked On Bruins, your daily podcast on the Boston Bruins. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, Bruins fans, and welcome back to the Locked On Boston Bruins podcast. I'm your host, Ian McLaren, and this is a daily show where we discuss all things Spoked B. I want to thank you so much for making Locked On Bruins part of your day. Here's how you do it. Free and available on your favorite podcast app as well as on YouTube. Just smash that subscribe button. Each new episode will be automatically added to your feeds. Free to download, listen, and enjoy. We are part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And today's episode is brought to you by Birddogs. Go to birddogs.com/LockedOnNHL and enter promo code LockedOnNHL for a free white tech hat with any order. The one I'm wearing right now, for those of you on YouTube, you won't want to take your Birddogs off. I promise you. I got a few pairs of shorts. Well, I'll talk about them later. Quick reminder, you can find the podcast on Twitter. X. Instagram at Locked NHL Bruins. And you can find me, my dad jokes, and hockey tweets at Ian C. McLaren. Later on in the program, we are going to rank the 32 NHL logos. Before we get to that, what did we learn from Jeremy Swayman yesterday following his media availability, talking about his arbitration hearing and subsequent 1-year, $3.475 million contract that was awarded to him? He said it was a difficult process. Arbitration always is. That's why you want to avoid it as often as possible. But he's grateful to be a Boston Bruin moving forward, if only with the security of 1 year. It wasn't a process he wanted to go through, he said, but he understands that it's a business, and he's grateful he went through it. Quote, I think the biggest thing was living day by day, understanding that what you hear might not be the truth at all times. It is a business. I wanted to make sure that whatever was thrown my way, I was going to be able to attack with a good mindset and making sure that at the end of the day, I was doing everything I could to be a Boston Bruin, end quote. What is he talking about there? Well, of course, we know that the player comes in with a valuation, the team comes in with a much lower valuation, and the two sides present their case. And, teams can be a little bit ruthless when they are pointing out the reasons why they believe Swayman in this example should have been paid only about $2 million. They point out flaws in your game, area of growth, shortcomings. I'm sure Game 7 was brought up, even though it was a unideal circumstance for him to be in. He added he couldn't be happier. There's no ill will from the process because he understands he's not the first player to go through it, won't be the last. But having said that, I don't wish it upon any of my friends or teammates moving forward. And I don't want to do it ever again. But he's grateful he went through it. Glad to get it done. And he's a Bruin at the end of the day. So, you feel bad for Swayman. He's usually a joyful, upbeat guy. Clearly, there were some things said in the hearing that rubbed him the wrong way or weren't very fun to hear. Hopefully that will motivate him to be on this trajectory that he's on to be a starting goalie for the Boston Bruins. He has his teammate in Linus Ullmark to back him up. You can't take it personally. Can't put too much stock in it because you know that the argument being made is for a lesser valuation. It's a business. At the end of the day, he is a Boston Bruin, and that's the main thing. And And, sometimes ill will can come up. It does lead to separation between player and team down the road because it's hard to shake that when you hear, even recording this podcast or on social media, you hear a lot of positive feedback, but those negative things really stick with you. And that's just the reality of most people's brains. You can hear so much positive stuff, but you can't shake that negative stuff. Hopefully Swayman can shake it off and just get ready for training camp. He was asked, of course, about the retirement of Patrice Bergeron and a bunch of other departures. Comes back to the business of hockey. Countless friends, brothers, he said, are going to different places, but those relationships will never be lost. We saw at Charlie McAvoy's wedding last weekend, the relationships they had, former players that were there. Sad seeing change and turnover, but it's an opportunity, he said, for new players coming in to step up and become core members of the Boston Bruins. He said management isn't going to bring in guys that are going to bring the team down, and they're going to have the tools they need to succeed, and he can't wait to get started. Whether or not they have the right tools or tools that are effective without rust, that remains to be seen. But guys are going to have to step up. Bergeron led by example. There's going to be a new captain, presumably. Other people are going to have to step up and fill that leadership void. Swayman, for his part, he stuck around in Boston for the summer and wants to get the best training, the best coaching, the best atmosphere, commitment that he wanted to make personally to make sure he could do everything he could not to have that Game 7 loss feeling once again. So he's trying to elevate his game. He's trying to get some time outdoors. He had fun at Charlie McAvoy's wedding, going to hike Mount Washington with AJ Greer, and looking forward to getting back on the ice with his goalie partner. Of Bergeron, finally, he said he's put in such an incredible foundation, being a young guy and this young core that's going to be part of the organization for a long time. That goes back to the arbitration, no hard feelings, wants to be a Bruin long term. They're going to do everything they can to continue the legacy that Bergeron built, and guys before him as well, Swayman acknowledged, with Zdeno Chara being the main guy. Quote, we're going to do everything we can to honor the legacy and make sure we do whatever we can to be great humans, great Boston Bruins, and good hockey players. So that's kind of what we learned from Jeremy Swayman following his arbitration hearing. Wasn't easy. He's not taking it personally, or trying not to at least. Moving forward, it's a business. Players come and go, but those who remain are going to do all they can to remain competitive and carry on that leadership legacy left by Bergeron and then Chara before him. All right, coming up after the break, I am going to look at the 32 logos around the NHL, and we're going to rank them. Birddogs has a product that you need to get on right now. I have a few pairs of Birddogs shorts and a pair of Birddog pants that are just ridiculously comfortable. They make you look good with their stretch khaki shorts that are designed to fit slimmer through the thigh and leg, giving a truly sculpted look. They fit way better than regular shorts, and they have this cloud knit fabric that looks just like khaki, but stretches so you get a way slimmer fit without having to sacrifice movement. Right now, if you go to birddogs.com/LockedOnNHL or enter promo code LockedOnNHL, you get this free white tech hat with your order. That's birddogs.com/LockedOnNHL or promo code Locked On NHL, you get this free white tech hat. You won't want to take your Birddogs off, I promise you. They also have this anti-stink sweat wicking fabric that keeps you cool and dry all day long. Fit better than regular shorts and feel so much better as well. Check out birddogs.com/LockedOnNHL today. Thank you so much once again for making Locked On Boston Bruins part of your day every single day. Podcast is free and available on your favorite podcast app. Everydayers can expect a new episode on Friday, and we're going to continue our look around the Atlantic Division, see how the Bruins stack up, and maybe do some more of these live rankings as well. Today, we're going to rank the logos together, shall we? And I'm going to pop up a look at the 2022-23 National Hockey League logos. And here, the hosts of Locked On NHL are ranking all 32 logos. Those rankings will be out here in a bit. And I thought, hey, why not do this live on the show? And I can walk you through my thought process here. So we're going to share my screen, 2023 logos, and go through them in turn. Now, I guess we'll start with alphabetical order and just make our way down. Anaheim Ducks. Anaheim Mighty Ducks, I loved. This version of the Anaheim Ducks, honestly, it's at the bottom for me. This is the worst logo in hockey. I don't like the color. They have the D with the webbed foot, but their old logo was just so much better. I just can't handle it. Arizona, on the other hand, that's one of my favorite logos in the NHL. It is just the colors, how it fits in with the desert motif. You can make an argument that all the original 6 logos belong in the top 10, if not the top 6. But honestly, I'm going to throw a curveball here and put Arizona at number 1. I just love it that much. The Bruins, classic. I do like when the B is yellow. But still, let's put that one near the top. I'm going to put that at number 2. Sabres logo, I really love as well. They have a great color scheme. And they're near the top for me. But I'm going to slot in the original 6 here. I really think Detroit has a beautiful logo. I'm going to put them number 3, actually. It's just perfect. Detroit Red Wings. What else could you need? Motor City. It's a nice one. What are the other original 6? Well, you know what? Chicago, it's outdated. They really need to update their logo. I'm going to put that at number 31 just because, whatever, call me woke, whatever you want. I don't like the use of that image for a logo, so I'm putting that at 31. Buffalo, like I said, I really like that. I'm going to put them, man, that's a tough one. What makes it easier is perhaps going from the bottom. Carolina, awful. Putting them at number 30. Sorry, Hurricanes fans, but that is not great at all. What else deserves to be near the bottom? Columbus, terrible. You're going number 29. My friends in Columbus, I'm sorry. That is not good at all. Capitals, that's terrible as well. Tampa Bay, not great. You guys are going near the bottom. I'm going to put Capitals at 28. Tampa Bay Lightning at 27. Oh, yeah, Vancouver also terrible. You guys can go down in 26th. How do we feel about the newest logos? Vegas, Seattle. Yeah, they're not bad. I'm going to stick with them and keep them up in the list. I think Pittsburgh's is pretty clean as well, and I really like theirs. So I'm going to put them up near the top. Pittsburgh Penguins, you know what? You are going fourth. I like you a lot. Philadelphia, nah, we'll save them for later. All right, so far, Anaheim near the bottom, Arizona, number 1, Bruins, number 2, Blackhawks, terrible, Carolina, terrible. The Flames have a pretty clean look, which I really like. Avalanche, you know what? It's so annoying because similar as with Carolina, the Nordiques Whalers logos were some of the best around, and it just still hurts to see Colorado instead of Quebec. So I'm putting the Avalanche down at number 25. Calgary, that's a top 5 logo for me. Buffalo, I'm putting them at number 6. Dallas, terrible. Look at that. Like it's a D, similar to Anaheim. You got this D there trying to make something out of the letter. You can't replicate what the Bruins have with the spoked B. I'm sorry. It's just not working for me. So I'm putting them down in 24th. Detroit's I love. Oilers, pretty classic look. I love their color scheme, the orange and the blue. So glad they got rid of those orange jerseys and replaced them with the main blue. You know what, Oilers? I'm giving you guys some love. I'm going to put you up in 7th for now. Florida Panthers. I really liked the old logo with the jumping out Panther. This one, trying to be a bit too clean. I mean, it's all right, but we'll come back to that one here in a few moments. Let's put some others near the bottom. I like Pittsburgh's, like I said. San Jose's, very good as well. I'm putting San Jose, let's see here, up in, that's a top 10 one for me. Sharks eating the stick. Come on, that is beautiful. I'm going to put them at 8th. Let's round out our top 10 here before we take a break. The Blues I really like. Classic look. Just the note, the colors. Seattle Kraken, pretty cool as well. Habs, Maple Leafs, kind of boring. How are we going to round out the top 10? So far, we have Arizona first. Boston, yes, a bit biased. Detroit. Pittsburgh. Followed by Calgary, Buffalo, Edmonton, San Jose. We'll put the Blues at 9th, and we'll wrap up the top 10 before we take a break by putting in, why not, Seattle Kraken at number 10. Might be an unpopular choice, but we'll round out the final rankings here after the break. All right, thanks so much once again for joining me here on Locked On Boston Bruins. Today we are ranking the 32 logos around the NHL. Let's toss some bad ones out there. Predators, their color scheme, awful. I don't really like that. I mean, the name itself is so ambiguous. It could be anything. So Nashville, you're going down in 23rd. Ottawa's, I really like. I'm going to put them at 11. Who are we missing here? The Panthers, don't love it. Don't love the new look. Trying to be too clean. And I really like those kind of, you just have some fun with it, right? Skating penguin, a shark biting a stick, the Kachina logo. Don't try to be too clean, and they look more like a soccer jersey to me. So Florida, you're going down in 22nd. Kings, again, similar to Florida. They're just trying to be too clean, trying to be something they're not. Just feature the crown, go back to the purple and gold. That is much more royal to me. I'm going to put them at 21st. Minnesota's is kind of cool. It's got some hidden meanings in there. We'll put them at 20th. Canadians, I mean, simple, classic. I guess they belong in the upper echelon, upper half at the very least. Devils is pretty cool with the devil tail. Islanders, I mean, if you went full-time with the fisherman logo, I would be on board. It's just a picture of Long Island. So, no, I'm not having it. You're going 19th. Rangers, not that great either. It's not even really a logo. It's just a shield, pretty much. So, forget you. Who's left here? The Flyers. They probably deserve to be higher than 14th, but I'm going to put them there. Finally, the Maple Leafs. Boring. Just a maple leaf, and it's not even red. It's blue. Why are you blue? 15th. And then Vegas, 16th. Winnipeg, 17th. Winnipeg's, again, same thing. Their original logo was so much better than the current one. And I really love that a lot. So let's go back and assess the rankings here. Arizona, again, this may be controversial, but I'm giving them number 1. And I'm going to zoom in here for those of you at home. Like, look at this thing. It is so cool. I love it. Non-traditional, of course, but it fits with the desert motif, the coyote, with the hockey stick. Wearing their alternate jersey as well. So cool. Anaheim, though, terrible. You're going down near the bottom. Second, we have the Bruins. Yep, that's some bias shown in there. Third, we have, who did we put in third? The Detroit Red Wings. Yeah, pretty clean, classic, one of the best logos in sports, I think. In fourth, we have the Pittsburgh Penguins. Yep, classic. I love it. Fifth, we'll just go through the top 10 one more time here. The Calgary Flames, Buffalo Sabres, Edmonton Oilers, San Jose Sharks, St. Louis Blues, and rounding out the top 10, I have the Seattle Kraken. So some new ones in there, some old ones in the mix. Worst logos in hockey, in my opinion, are Chicago. Needs to be replaced. The Hurricanes, terrible. The Ducks, awful. Blue Jackets, go back to the bug with the hockey stick, as you can tell. I like the animals holding hockey sticks. I think it's just cool. Or biting hockey sticks. Give me those all day. Vancouver, awful. Washington's terrible. Go back to the eagle, maybe. That's pretty much it. So, yeah, let me know what you think. Drop in the comments. Send me your rankings for NHL logos. This was a fun exercise. The Bruins, if they had the yellow bead, the 90s logo, that would be number 1 for me. But Arizona, I just love it. I'm sorry. Sue me. That's it for today's episode, my friends. I hope you are all doing well, taking care of yourselves, taking care of each other. Don't forget to check out Birddogs. Get this white hat with your order. And we'll be back here on Friday with a fresh new episode of Locked On Boston Bruins, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your favorite team every single day. I'm trying to record my podcast here.